Hello, Audio Marks, coming to you from the Sachem Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy and CJ, two casuals turned Marks wrestling fans, to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. Enter the ring at your own risk. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I said! And we are ready. Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Marks for Life podcast. I am one of your hosts, CJ.
And I'm the other one, Jimmy. How are you guys doing? Or better yet, hold on one second.
How you doing?
There we go.
One of our new sound bites courtesy of Jimmy. Very tech savvy. I only know how to press the record button, and I found that out today. So,
Good job. Good job, buddy.
thank you. So, in this week's episode, we are going to talk about the second part of the Mae Young Classic as our main event topic. We'll be discussing the finals, the tournament, WWE should be doing after this, etc., etc., etc. But first on the agenda, how you doing, bro?
Doing all right. I was really tired yesterday for some reason. I think it's because I have to wake up at like almost 5 a.m. every week. And then by the time I get home, it's like 7 at night.
I got you.
Hold on, we're getting some feedback issues going on right now, but I guess we'll keep going. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. My week ended yesterday, which is nice.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, no classes Fridays, which is nice. Let's see. What did I do this past week? I watched a movie last night with Nicole. We saw the Hayao Miyazaki film.
Which one?
It was called Castle of Cagliostro, his first ever directorial debut.
How was that?
So good. Oh my god, the animation, the story. You know, we watched an interview beforehand, which was just sick because, they talked about how the story and the animation were first of its time. It was like the first ever animated movie that was actually for adults, which was crazy because this came out back in like the 80s. Fun fact, the director, there was no confirmations of this. The director said, it was a Pixar director. There's a Pixar Disney director that's being interviewed beforehand saying how he was influenced by this movie. And he said that he thinks that this film, when it came out, was so good that it influenced a movie 2 years later.
Which was?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I never really watched it enough to really grasp it. I was never really a big fan of it. But Nicole was, so I asked her, does it do that? And she said, yeah. There was a lot of elements, the way the character was, what they're trying to do, because the character's a thief, and he's just trying to find treasure. And there's a princess, and then there's an evil count, and, there's adventure. There's so much humor and comedy. Like this is a PG-13 just for the violence. There was no cursing at all, but it was so funny. I love the movie. And then we got to see some trailers for some new movies coming out, like Pokemon I Choose You, November 5th and 6th.
I have mixed feelings about that one, only because they got rid of the original characters for like that movie specifically.
Well, they brought Ash back in his original getup, so we gotta give him props for that.
Ash and Pikachu are the only ones. It's Brock and Misty. They got replaced by two other generic copies of other characters, and I don't understand why they had to do that.
It's like an alternate version of his first adventure. So
I mean,
that's how they described it. It was like an alternate take on it and stuff, because they go out in this movie trying to find Ho-Oh.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole point of the story, is to try and find and capture that Pokemon.
Okay.
So it's a completely different. It's a much better mindset than his original one, in my opinion. It's like, wow, you have a clear-cut goal.
All right, that's
good for
cool.
you. So I hope he catches it. That'd be the first legendary that he's encountered and actually freaking caught.
basically what we as players have always done, but never seen the actual main character of the anime actually do.
Yeah, I can go off on the amount of legendaries he's met but never caught because he's a punk. But
Anyway, before we get into the show, just a couple of quick podcast housekeeping things that I need to go over with that we haven't actually done in a while. But I recently put us on a new podcasting site called Audio Boom, which will hopefully lead us to getting to iTunes very soon. I just got the picture from our incredible artist, Mike, and it looks really good. It's pretty much the same exact logo. It's just in a different pixel size, so hopefully it matches iTunes requirements finally. And then hopefully by the next couple of weeks, we'll be on iTunes. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. But for right now, we're going to kick it to our first break, and then we're going to go right into our reviews of the week. And we're back.
all right, time to get into the review of the week. First thing on our list is GFWTF.
Oh my god.
So I know
the
you
story will never end.
you've been keeping up with this much better than I have. I've been blocking out GFW for a while. So can you catch me up on what's been going on with GFW?
Yes. So as everyone should probably know by this point, TNA, Impact, GFW are the same company at this point. And as of right now, they've kicked out one of their main writers, who is Bruce Pritchard, who used to do WWE booking, who is actually an incredible wrestling insider. And I would highly recommend listening to his podcast, which is Something to Wrestle, and he really dives into a lot of the storytelling and a lot of the booking into that. But they got rid of him like about a month ago. And quite recently, they just got rid of Jeff Jarrett, which is the whole reason why TNA, Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it, decided to rebrand as GFW. It was because they brought in Jeff Jarrett as a consultant, but there was some problems going on, and Anthem had to release him. And at this point, it's like they're just never going to catch a break. And to be quite honest, they just need to be bought out by WWE for their library and start from scratch with just a regular GFW and Jarrett doing his indie shows here and there throughout the country. And I think that's what's best, because if you're just going to rebrand TNA, Impact, and GFW over and over and over and get rid of the people who actually know what to do with it, there's just no point in having it. And it's sad, really, because I believe Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, made his debut on that as Johnny Impact. I believe Evan Bourne, who is Matt Sydal, who's Evan Bourne now, became their champion recently, and it was like incredible to see them on that. Some other GFW news, they released Low Key, which was really sad.
Really?
Yeah, they released him because they brought him back originally to be a part of their X division, which is like the cruiserweight division for only WWE fans, but it's for TNA. So they only brought him back for the X division, but Low Key, being Low Key, wants to be a part of the main event scene. And I actually would agree on Low Key's part, is that he has gone above and beyond in the X division to the point where he needs to be up in the main spotlight as the main guy in our company.
Yes.
But they parted ways. I don't think it was like malicious in any way. They just parted ways, and hopefully we'll see Loki at some point again in the future. I would like to see him back in like Ring of Honor, PWG, or something like that. but it sucks because you want good things to happen to other wrestling companies to not compete with WWE, but at least have some sort of mainstream appeal that they're some sort of appeal that like branches out from WWE only being like the wrestling company that everyone knows.
Where do you think this all started, this downward spiral?
I mean, the obvious to look at is like Hogan and Bischoff, because although you can't really blame it all on them, I mean, obviously
you could trace it back to that
you
point.
could trace it back to that point as the starting point. But there's also like, if you go back a little bit further, like the Cornette years, which I have a personal bias against Jim Cornette. I don't like Jim Cornette at all.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with how he dealt with Ring of Honor. You remember those years? The only good parts of the year was when he was facing off against Kevin Steen, also known as Kevin Owens, and made that amazing. But that entire run almost bankrupt Ring of Honor. So, like, I like Cornette as a personality, but when it comes to running a company and booking, he's not the best. And he also did that for TNA at some points and almost ran that company to the ground before the Hogan Bischoff years.
Hogan and Bischoff was just more like prevalent and seen.
Well, yeah, because the reason why they brought Hogan and Bischoff was because they were at a point where they could get a real competitive edge against WWE, and I think everyone was really excited about it. But if it was just going to be Hogan getting over and over and over every single night that it was on, and then switching it over to actually compete with WWE when they did not have the finances, where they had a great talent, but they did not have great storytelling, and it was only about pushing Hogan and Bischoff and whatever the hell they were doing. I mean, that's where it traced to. And then, a couple breaks here and there, and then you have the Dixie Carter terrible years. Well, like the Bischoff-Hogan years were also the Dixie years, and we kind of like want to blame Hogan and Bischoff for those main years, but like it was Dixie's idea to bring him in.
Yeah.
And then like the whole end towards Dixie's run in TNA was really bad. Really, it was horrible. But it had like a glimmer of hope when they brought Billy Corgan in, and I was really excited. And then it was actually starting to be really good because that's also the Broken Matt Hardy gimmick came from that, and then they got back to square one again, and they had to reboot, and that's when the whole GFW thing started.
They've been doing a lot of rebooting over the past 5 years, and it's kind of hard to really root for a company whose identity is constantly changing, yet the identity is no longer similar to what got them over in the first place.
That's true, but I mean, I don't want to give up hope, but at this point, Anthem, the company, when they got to Anthem, I actually didn't know anything about Anthem, but I actually looked into it for a little bit. And Anthem's a quite powerful media company that I did not know. They have a much bigger reach and bank than WWE has. I did not know that going into it. So if they had done the correct things and like worked with them better, they could have potentially have been a decent competitor. Not like an actual competitor, but like definitely held on to that number 2 spot and possibly like switch back and forth. Like years and years.
I see what you mean.
But they got rid of Pritchard, which I think was okay at the time, but it wasn't like this wasn't a good start. Mm-hmm. And now they got rid of Jarrett, which was the whole reason why they brought in GFW to begin with. And at this point, I don't know what the hell they're doing. And I'm going back to those thoughts again of like WWE, they need to sell their library rights and a lot of like their trademarks to WWE at a good price, hopefully. And hopefully they can make money off of that. And
we'll get the broken gimmick.
We'll officially get the broken gimmick. I would love to see a reboot of the Aces and Eights because I thought that was a really good precursor to Bullet Club.
Yeah. No, that wasn't.
Yeah, it was a precursor to Bullet Club.
Bullet Club was around before that, I thought.
Nope. It was around, it's like the same time, but it was like...
Aces and Eights was 2013.
Yeah, which is right around the same time Bullet Club was.
I thought Bullet Club was like...
It was like... I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Look it up and see where that is.
Yeah, I'll look that up.
But definitely want Aces and Eights because I thought that was a really awesome gimmick.
I thought Aces and Eights was just because of Eric Bischoff's obsession with motorcycles.
I mean, yes, but it was still a really good gimmick.
Bullet Club was May 13th. May 3rd, 2008. 2013. May 3rd, 2013.
That was Bullet Club.
Yes, that was Bullet Club.
I'm pretty sure it was either 2013 or 2012, Aces and Eights. I could have sworn, but I could be wrong.
I just remember that the main event next year was AJ Styles winning the world title from Bully Ray. And the year before that, Bully Ray teamed up with Sting. Aces and Eights was, June 14th, 2012.
So I was right. All right.
Oh, I was off by a year because 2014 was when Styles left.
Yes, and that's when he joined Bullet Club. But he was also all part of Aces and Eights as well. Which
he was never part of Aces and Eights.
Kind of.
No.
Not real. Yeah. For like a little bit. And then he betrayed
for like
them.
2 seconds.
Yeah. Which is why it was awesome. But regardless, they had that. They have the best cruiserweight division, which is the X division, and all the talent that went with that, and a lot of like match styles and stuff like that.
I miss their tag team division.
Me too. I miss their tag team division. I miss their women's division. Their women's division was way better than WWE. It's like now par, and that's really saying something. But they had a lot of really good stuff, and if WWE somehow gets those trademarks, they will really be up there right then. Let's move on to the second point which is what's going on with the elites.
So pretty much right now, the Young Bucks currently have a cease and desist order from WWE because they are not allowed legally to use the DX cross chop and pronounce "suck it"
at the same time. I'm curious because they brought out they have a YouTube channel called BTE Being the Elite,
yes.
which is actually really good. It's actually like they do like 10 to 20 to 30 minute things, and when they do a Q&A, it's like an hour. But that cease and desist episode that they did was actually really good because they had like a small part where they were trying to say "suck it." And they kept getting bleeped. And they kept getting bleeped and bleeped. Yes. And then you just see Hangman Page walk out, and he has a toilet roll paper, and it says cease and desist with the WWE logo on it. And it was like, that's amazing. Oh, God, I love Bullet Club. I love the Young Bucks and the Elite. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It shows kind of how much power Young Bucks are having since... Like, they're gaining this much attention that WWE physically has to put a cease and desist on them.
Yeah, if they put a cease and desist on the Too Sweet, they would have a real problem. But
luckily,
they
never trademarked that because that was never...
Well, no, but the click, and if you do that technically was trademark. The click at least was, but their Too Sweet wasn't, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think through verbal agreements with...
Kevin Nash, Scott Hall.
Well, Scott Hall mainly, I think, because they had
Kevin Nash too. I thought, yeah, because they gave permission and stuff to let them use. Like, yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, so that verbal agreement's the only thing that's going to hold them up in court for using Too Sweet. But now they can't use Suck It anymore, which is probably one of the things that made Young Bucks really good. I mean, from like a gimmick perspective. I mean, in ring and like promo wise, they're fantastic. It's interesting because they have this much power to really like troll WWE, and now WWE's firing back. And usually that's not something that WWE would normally do.
Do you think if they get signed to the WWE, we'll see them do the Suck It again?
If they do, I don't think they do. I don't think they're gonna get signed at any point just because they're making a lot of money already with the amount of contracts they have with Ring of Honor and New Japan and doing a lot of the other indie shows and stuff like that, and the merch. Like, have you seen all that Bullet Club and Young Bucks merch? There's a lot. And now that they're in Hot Topic and stuff like that, it's a lot. Have you visited the Hot Topic around here?
Yes.
And actually seen the...
Yes.
Is it awesome?
Yes. There's a lot of stuff. And that was from like a couple weeks ago. I can't imagine what they had now.
Yeah, and I know, man. I really want some of that merch so bad. You got us, Young Bucks. You got us. Let's move on to our third point, which is hashtag Woken. Have you seen the YouTube clip of that yet?
No, but I saw you posted on our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast.
Marks for Life Pod.
On Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did both.
Oh.
Anyway, but it was basically old school Matt Hardy from like TNA doing the broken gimmick, and it was so good. He was like, the energy around us, and doing that whole mystical thing that we laugh at and everything, and then ending with Woken, and then that's it. It was, God, I'm so excited about seeing this version a lot.
I think they're gonna start. I think they're doing the slow burn to it now.
Yeah, I think they are now, just because I think they have to.
Yeah, and I think that the Woken thing, because it's not technically the broken gimmick, they can get away with it
for now. But I don't know what's going on with the whole Impact GFW thing. I mean, if they somehow get those trademarks from them, then they'll go right into the broken gimmick, and then I think we'll be extremely happy to see a WWE logo on broken Matt Hardy gimmick T-shirts and merch. So I think this is a good stepping stone, and I think we need to see more of this.
Yes.
So I don't know if Matt Hardy is listening to this, or if his wife Rebby is listening to this, but we need more Woken. We need to be woke. If I could say that without sounding too controversial. Anyway, let's kick off our Raw review for this week, because that was our wrestling news. We're going to do the comparison of the Jason Jordan-Roman Reigns match and the Jason Jordan-Cena match. Did you see any of those matches?
I saw both.
What did you think of them?
I think Jason Jordan impressed, but I wasn't too... I don't know. It kind of wasn't, like, interesting. They were great matches. There wasn't something that kept me glued to the screen. It was missing something for both matches. And I don't think it's a testament to Roman or Cena, because they've had matches where I'm like, holy Christ, I gotta watch it. Jason Jordan, he consistently is having great matches, but that lack of character really kind of just... Okay, guys, before I finish that thought, we are being observed because there's a library convention going on where we're recording. So...
Yeah, we're being stared at like a whole bunch of, like zoo animals.
How you doing, guys?
All right, hold on.
How you doing?
Yes. It's just... It feels pretty awkward with all these people like staring at us, but
I don't care. Shoot, I'm used to people staring. I'm just that good looking, guys. But
going back to the thought,
Jason Jordan, he really needs some like character development, because I feel like that's the thing that's stopping him from having the matches that we know we can have. Like AJ Styles had that personality. That's what made his matches with Roman Reigns and John Cena so electric. Jason Jordan's missing that.
I get what you're saying, and I agree with you that there's something missing for Jordan, but I think it's a much better character development than you're kind of leading on, because you want to see more outside the ring character development, and I think everyone can agree to that. But there's a lot of in the ring character development going on, because he's losing and he's getting a little disappointed, but he's getting like this admiration from Cena and Roman. But I think those two matches aren't technically supposed to be for Jordan.
Yeah, they were for...
It was for the Cena Roman Reigns thing, which I think started off good. Mm-hmm. Then I don't know. It's good for Cena, because Cena, I think, can do promos really well. Roman, on the other hand, still is really struggling.
He's got to learn it. He's got to learn it if he wants to be the big dog.
He just keeps repeating "bitch," and it's just, I mean, why?
And I retired The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Bitch, you're just being a bitch. Oh, you couldn't beat that guy for... But he had a 20-minute match with a rookie. Stop being such a bitch.
That was last week, though. This week, he had some good comebacks.
I mean, yeah, he had good comebacks, but if he just keeps saying bitch, though, that's like his go-to.
I thought his go-to was the guy.
I mean, it was the guy, and now it's bitch. I mean...
No, it was the guy. No, first it was Believe It. Then the guy. Then I retired The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Well, this is my yard now.
Yes. Then this is my yard. Then bitch.
I mean, I think for Roman, it's just a cycling and stuff like that, and it's not really building his promo ability. Hopefully this coming week will be better, because I feel like they're getting to that point where they're really going to dive into like the whole Hollywood thing that Cena's leaving WWE.
But
for
it's all
Hollywood and
stuff we've heard before. I just liked Reigns' take on it. It's like, hey, I know a guy. I'm pretty sure you know.
that part was good.
I'm like,
but
ooh. But then John Cena. What do you think of John Cena's comment about Reigns being a druggie?
I thought it was good. Because it reminds me of the Randy Orton thing that he said to Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
And I thought that was good. I think it's kind of interesting that basically PG characters that are supposed to be marketed towards kids are talking about, bitch and drug addiction. So I think it's really interesting.
Do you think that it's damaging to Reigns' character? Because I've been reading a lot of articles where people's opinions are that Reigns is having that one comment hurt his character a lot, being presented as the next top guy, the next top face, and you're presenting him as a drug addict.
I mean, I feel like we can't really BS around. That did happen, but I don't know. I don't think it's damaging to his character. I mean, we damage. I guess we could say we quote unquote damaged John Cena's character by saying he buried all these people for God knows how long, and now is starting to like, oh, okay, let me put this guy over. Oh, let me put that guy over. But I don't know if it's really damaging in the long run. Mm-hmm. I can understand why Reigns did it to begin with, because he was probably in a lot of pain and he thought the medication was was protecting under the wellness policy that they have, but it wasn't. So I can understand why he did it, but at the same time, I feel like he's been part of the company for a little bit long and should know these policies almost by heart by now, or at least consulted with a doctor before he took these medications. But I don't think I don't think that making that comment of like, oh, he's taking drugs is really damaging. Like,
okay.
I think that's a bit of a spoof. I mean, if he does it again and actually gets proven that he actually did do it again, that's a different story. Because if it's a repeated thing, then yeah. But if it happened once and it was a mistake, like, he just didn't understand, like, oh, this particular set of pills wasn't protected under the wellness policy. So,
all right.
But, I mean, I like their promo itself. Like, this week was definitely better than the previous week one.
Yes.
Well, the second week of it. And then the first week was really good. But, I don't know. I feel like Cena, again, just keeps towering over Reigns. And Reigns went down. And then this week he kind of went up a little bit, but still being towered over Cena.
It's just hard because Reigns doesn't... One, he's not a comfortable promo worker. Two, a lot of the things that you can use to dig against Cena are all stuff that you've heard before.
That's true.
No one's really... Did you see Cena's tweet?
Yeah, that was awesome. I also posted that on our social media, the Twitter, that their fight went to Twitter as well, and it was amazing.
Because Reigns was calling out Cena for screwing up, I guess, on a squat. He's like, oh, maybe you should just pre-record it for 5,000 times before you finally get it right and then post it. And then Cena says, yeah, you're right, my bad. Next time, I'll just throw my tweet in a padded, protected vest. And I'm just like, oh! Damn!
Man.
And Reigns, this is for you. Because, oh my god.
Oh god, it was so good.
This match, though, is going to be electric. Because Roman and Cena were both having great matches with Jordan.
Yeah, so I think that their matches are good. My problem is that it's going to overshadow the other really big match.
I don't think it will.
I don't know.
Cause no matter how big Roman Cena is, the other match is just so much bigger because of the events leading up to it.
That's true, but I think it's only we'll see it, and my hope is that it's not. I really want that other match that we will be talking about it later in the podcast, which is why we're not saying it. I really want that match to really be the headline. I don't want Roman and Cena being the headline. That's my fear.
I don't think it will be.
No, I don't think so either because of like the No Mercy. Have you seen the poster for it?
I'll look it up now. But
the Brock and Strowman are actually the main ones up for the No Mercy poster
Good.
though.
Good.
But let's move on to our next thing, which is The Miz and his big announcement that he gave on Raw, which was actually, if I was a wrestler in WWE, I would be doing it too. Which is...
You don't have it on here.
No, but that's why I have this one, though. because that also goes along with that.
But awesome.
Yeah, I know. I had to get rid of it. But whatever. But the Miz is having a baby, guys. He's having a baby.
Baby Miz, the It Baby. I am so excited. I hope they bring it into storylines. This turns Miz into an awesome face.
Well, it kind of already did that Monday when they had the Miz TV. Was it a Miz TV?
It was Miz TV.
It was Miz TV with Enzo Amore when he came out. Oh my God, it was so good.
But then we get the Miz and Maurice with the baby versus Broken Matt, Reby Sky, and King Max.
And their other baby, which is who was their other kid?
The hell if I know. or Wolfgang, right?
That's what his name was, really? Wolfgang?
Something like that.
That already named his baby Wolfgang?
I think so.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Hardy.
Anyway, but I love the fact that they brought in this storyline for this. And then Enzo comes out and he does that whole spiel that he normally does.
Enzo's an ass.
He is, but he's like that ass that we like.
I hate him.
No, stop it.
No, he's annoying me. He's that little guy that peaked in high school that just won't shut up about it.
That's 3 years ago. We would have said the same thing about The Miz.
Yeah. Enzo should turn heel.
I think that's what they're kind of doing.
Good.
But I also I don't know. I like the fact that The Miz and Enzo are kind of, I don't know if you call it a program with each other, but I like the fact that they did one together and no way. Oh, sorry.
Wolfgang Xander Hardy.
Sorry, guys. He just showed me. That's probably the best news that you showed me today. Thank you so much for sharing that.
No problem.
But going back to Enzo and The Miz, I think it's really good because it wasn't too long ago The Miz was in the same position Enzo was.
Yeah, but here's the thing. As The Miz stated, and The Miz is known for his real-life shoots and digs, Enzo still thinks he has nothing to learn. Miz is consistently trying to improve. You know, he's trying to improve, trying to up his game, trying to show why he belongs. And the only thing Enzo has going for him is two libs and crappy wrestling ability.
And probably some of the best merch sales in all of WWE.
I think his merch sales are going down right now.
No, his merch sales are consistent. I doubt that. There's no way. He's got some pretty decent merch. I think that's the reason why he wouldn't be on television if his merch wasn't doing good.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of backstage heat.
Yeah, I know that.
Like
but
a lot.
I think I don't know how much of Enzo's real life personality is connected to his character. I would like to believe that it's not as bad as we are seeing through dirt sheets and other news outlets and
Many
stuff like
people went interviewed about Enzo Amore saying that this is Enzo the entire time.
Yeah, I know. But I remember listening to a podcast for what was it, Sam Roberts' podcast, who's one of like those sports analysis guys for WWE for during pay-per-views and stuff. And he had Big Cass, and Big Cass was basically said the same thing, but it was like, yeah, he's just being Enzo. It's like, it's okay. And he said it not burying Enzo or any way like that. So,
but they're friends. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're friends. So, I mean, I don't know. And then there's other people who aren't friends with him. Like have you heard the Simon Gotch shoot?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
That one, wow. That one would dug hard deep. And I'm thinking to myself, Simon, you're probably right that he's probably not one of us as marks for the business. But at the same time, like, give the guy some slack. He has a job at WWE and you don't anymore. Like, give him a break.
I understand that point. I just think that in this scenario, Enzo Amore was the heel.
Yeah, in this scenario, he was definitely the heel because of also by that amazing "Who's Your Daddy" comment that he made to Maurice.
Jeez.
That was for a heel perspective. Yeah. That was amazing.
That was crazy. I didn't appreciate that. I was like, really?
I mean, really?
That was rough.
Really?
That was.
I thought it was a good comeback thing for a heel to do. I don't know what they're doing with Enzo. My hope is that he does actually turn heel because I would like to see that, but I would also like to see his merch still keep going because his character is pretty good. But we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, but again, congrats to the Miz and Maurice on their baby.
Congratulations.
We're so excited about it, and I really do want that Hardy family versus Mizani family really badly.
I do hope though, Miz, that unlike Kurt Angle, you will be there for your child.
Oh my god.
Best dig. I'm like, oh.
All right. Let's move on to the next thing, which I know you're really excited about. I don't know what your exact feelings are for this, but okay, I'll go off into it. Asuka, there was a promo for Raw for Asuka to make who is going to be debuting on Raw for their women's division. How do you feel about that?
I'm happy Asuka's on the main roster.
You're upset that she's on Raw, though.
Yes.
I'm so excited. She's going to have so many better matches on Raw, though.
No.
Yeah, she is.
Because Raw will screw her up.
Really? Because they're not doing that for Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss is on Raw.
Well,
and there's also a Mickie James rematch. Then there's Sasha Banks. Then there's a Bayley rematch, and then there's an amazing, probably one of the number one things that a lot of people are talking about is the Nia Jax one, because she was the first one to really say something about the Asuka thing.
Hold on. Let me go through the people you put up in order.
Okay.
Alexa Bliss had more success in the WWE versus NXT, so that doesn't really count.
Oh, stop it.
No, it doesn't.
Semantics. Go on.
Sasha Banks never had a successful title reign.
True, but as a match quality wise, though, she will sell everything Asuka dishes out, and it would be amazing. Don't deny that it won't be.
Bayley's character sucks.
Yes, but doesn't mean they won't have good matches. And she would be a good heel for Asuka.
They completely destroyed Emma.
Yeah.
After rebuilding herself in NXT.
Yeah, but she's kind of giving her comeback on that, and we'll see what happens with
They
that.
tarnished the legacy of Mickie James.
Not really. I mean, give me a break.
You see where I'm getting at? Raw destroys its women's division.
Really? Because you're totally excluding Alexa Bliss on that, who is the best portion for Raw.
They took her from SmackDown. And, I don't know. I think that...
And then you have Nia Jax, who's probably going to be the champion at the end of this.
Alexa and Nia, they're fine. It's just how they mishandled most of their women's division. Most of it. And they've been doing this since last year by focusing just on Charlotte and...
But they didn't destroy Charlotte, though.
No,
really.
they didn't. They focus on just one singular person to build up. And they chose Alexa Bliss for that spot after trading Charlotte to SmackDown.
Well, now they're starting to evolve. They're starting to rebuild Emma, though, which is good.
Here's the thing. I heard reports that the only reason they're bringing Asuka to Raw is because SmackDown's more well-rounded.
This is true.
Asuka on Raw, because look how shallow the women's division now to call up Emma, who has had no momentum, no build-up, nothing. And I am scared that they will screw that up with Asuka.
I don't know. I feel like
I am excited for all these potential matches. Don't get me wrong. The matches are going to be great. I just hope they do the right thing with Asuka.
I hope so too. I hope they actually do the what Nia was supposed to get with the monster heel thing for Asuka. That's what I really want.
Yeah,
I want that winning streak to really go far.
Yes.
Which, by the way, still undefeated.
Yes.
Officially the number one most undefeated person in NXT.
Yes.
For title contention. I don't know specifically in just singles matches.
Here's the thing. She's only been not victorious once.
But that was because of...
that was a battle royal.
Okay.
So you can't...
So in a singles match, no matter what circumstances it was...
Singles... anything that involves in pinfall, submission...
Yeah, pinfall or submission.
Pinfall, submission. She has been consistently, on her game.
She's been undefeated.
Yeah.
And that undefeated streak will still continue. And then once she gets... I hope... My real pray is that Asuka really does get the... Huh?
Prayer,
whatever.
not your real prey. That was to you.
Anyway, my hope is that Asuka does get the Braun Strowman treatment where she's just a monster heel. Well, not a monster heel, but a monster wrestler just winning match after match after match against jobbers, and hopefully build real stories with Emma and Nia and Alexa and Sasha. Because those are the four main ones I really want. It would be nice to see Asuka and Mickie James. It'll be nice to see Dana and Asuka, because I think that would be kind of interesting.
Here's the thing. She's had programs with most of them. Nia, Dana.
Yes, and NXT,
Nikki.
and not everyone who watches Raw or SmackDown watches NXT.
I'm just saying that there's blood to put on that. There's
But
there's
not really for Alexa or for Sasha.
no. Or
Well, kind of Emma, but
Emma, yeah. They had a fantastic match at NXT London, which I felt was better than the NXT women's match.
yeah, that's true.
So
But I hope they gave her that monster squash thing though, because I think that's what made Asuka really compelling.
I'm upset that we're not going to see Asuka versus Becky yet, or Asuka versus Charlotte.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the one thing I'm really sad about. That. Who else would be missing?
Mostly Asuka Becky, because that would be hard hitting as hell. Like, oh my god. And then Asuka versus Lana would be a beautiful masterpiece of just destroying Lana.
Yes, but then you'd have Tamina come out, and then you'd have
Also
to deal
get
with
destroyed.
Tamina. But let's move on to the next thing because we're kind of running
Yes.
short on time.
Wait. Can I do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's time for the Strowman highlight reel.
Wow, that was incredible.
Strowman literally comes out, and then because Brock Lesnar wants to be like,
What he's trying to say is, Suplex City, bitch.
Brock Lesnar goes to German suplex Braun. Braun just gets up, and then Lesnar has a look of fear I've never seen before, and I am excited because Braun is gonna tear him a new one.
Oh god, and also the Cena match. Don't forget that.
Yes, and then Braun just literally decimated Cena on the same night and power slammed him onto the steel steps. He is destructive. No one can stop.
It was something that brought quite a joy to my heart. I felt like a little kid, like really watching wrestling for the first time again. It was awesome.
Dude, Braun is being booked as literally... I've never seen anyone this unstoppable before. To take out both Brock Lesnar and John Cena on the same night. Same night!
They're really pushing Strowman. I don't know. He's kind of getting a Roman Reigns and Cena kind of deal, but the way they're packaging it is different.
He's believable!
Yes.
He towers over Lesnar. He put Big Show out to pasture. He kicked Apollo Crews mid-air. He throws lounge chairs for a living.
Those wasn't the desk chairs.
He throws desk chairs for a living.
Twice. Oh god, I'm so excited for this match at No Mercy between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Oh god.
He countered the 5-knuckle shuffle. Quickly! Not with the standard kick. Freaking spine bustered his ass. Oh my god. I love Strowman.
I think everyone loves Strowman. Like 2 years ago, we would not be saying this.
2 years ago, we were like, who is this guy?
Who's this guy with the black sheep mask? Then like a year ago, we are like, oh, okay. He's like squashing people. It's 5-minute matches.
And
It's
now
like,
he's
not bad.
squashing Brock Lesnar and John Cena.
This is how you properly package someone to be a top guy.
Yeah, Roman. I love that button.
That we're keeping year round, by the way.
Yes.
Anyway, but I want this done perfectly.
I want
and the way that
Strowman
they're
to
doing
win.
and the way that they're doing it, it seems really good, but I want to remain skeptical that this could be bad. Because I have that fear that they are going to screw it up.
I want Strowman to win against Lesnar.
Do you want him to be a year-long champion? Yes. Well, hopefully the good times will keep rolling for Strowman, but keep moving on with these other things because we are running low on time. Let's go on to...
And that is the end of the Strowman highlight reel.
Let's move on to SmackDown with this U.S. triple threat that could be going on for Hell in a Cell.
Ty Dillinger just battled AJ Styles in a very, very good match. I wouldn't say a perfect 10. I'd say like maybe
Not a perfect 10.
8. But very good match. And then you have Baron Corbin coming out afterwards and then challenging Styles. for the United States Championship match next week. I think this is going to lead to a triple threat match. And I think that this is going to lead to Ty Dillinger being the United States champion.
Really?
Yes, I see
That's
him.
that's not what I would expect from you, being such a big Baron Corbin guy.
I see it being Ty Dillinger versus Baron Corbin feuding for the United States Championship throughout the rest of fall. This frees up AJ Styles to then tackle the WWE title picture or start getting into that against Shinsuke Nakamura.
All right.
And this also frees up Rusev to feud
With Styles.
Yes, just cause.
Just because we really want that match, because I feel like I think they would work really well together.
Yeah, but I want to see Ty Dillinger hold that championship.
I feel like he's deserved it after everything he's been through in NXT in like the early parts of his development.
Yes.
And especially getting onto the main roster.
The only reason why I wouldn't want to see that is that I would like to see Styles keep hosting U.S. Open challenges.
Yeah, that's true. I have missed the U.S. Open Challenge since Cena started it and then lost it. And then we kind of got it back with Styles. But
It was too feud heavy.
yeah, it was too feud heavy. I mean, I don't know. I would like to see that come back like in a year from now. I don't want it back like as soon as possible. I want it like coming back around this time next year.
I would like to see that gimmick, though, just be permanent with the U.S. Open Challenge. Personally, I would like to see how the television title in WCW and in TNA had to consistently be defended on television or had to be defended every week. You know, I would love to see that with the United States Championship, but it would just always be an open challenge.
I like that idea. I like it.
You know, I would personally like that.
That'd be an interesting idea. Let's move on to the next thing. I want to switch that though, because I feel like the number 9 that we put down needs to be the last thing we talk about.
So we got new tag team champions again, and WWE booking. Asinine booking.
It is asinine booking, but I'm
3 title changes since July.
July. Yes, but I'm torn about it because I really like Usos and New Day so much, and they actually work really well together. It's different. It has a different feel to it than what Charlotte and Sasha did, and I don't know. I'm really torn about this because I hate the idea of like switching titles around, but I really like the Usos and New Day feuding like a lot. I don't know why.
I'm not happy about it. I don't like it.
I know you don't like it. I know that you don't like.
New Day should have just kept the championships. Here's the thing. You could have had it. Usos retain the titles at Battleground. New Day wins at SummerSlam. Then they have this match on SmackDown. And then it would be fine. But no, you have to have 3 freaking title changes. Ugh.
Although, if you dive into that match, I noticed something interesting is that Big E was doing a lot of the work. And I think, didn't he get the pin? I'm pretty sure he got the pin. He did a lot of the work, though, in that match.
Well, it was a tornado match, but I think he got the win.
The reason why I'm bringing it up is because they're kind of building up, like, Big E's the reason why they're holding the titles, and this could lead to a breakup.
Yes.
I'm speculating. I'm not saying
Fashion Files.
Oh, God. I wish we put that on the thing, because that little thing that they did with the Fashion Files was great. But
well, I don't know. I think the tag team division, I don't know who I'd like to see each of them feud against. You know, you could see the Usos feuding with, like, the Hype Bros or something like that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, after that match that the Hype Bros had, I don't know if they're going to still be around.
But it's too soon for another breakup.
Well, they haven't had a breakup to begin with yet. They kind of had a breakup with
but
American
like there's
Alpha,
been 4 breakups this year. Enzo and Big Cass, DIY, Golden Truth, and I feel like there was one more.
Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
There we go. 4.
I can't believe you forgot that one. That was the best one.
I forgot that they weren't a tag team.
Yeah, they were best friends.
Yes.
They were the best friends.
But like there's been 4 breakups this year.
I feel like 2017 will go down the year of breakups.
Yes.
But, I mean, would you argue that they were bad?
I don't argue that they were bad. I argue that some of them came too soon, and others were not. I don't know. I feel like some of it was just unnecessary. Case in point, Golden Truth and Endzone Big Cass.
Well, I mean, a little bit. I don't know. I would have liked to have seen him win at least one title.
They had more gas in the tank as a tag team.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think they wanted to split off Big Cass to be a singles competitor because, you know, Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho did fantastic for the characters and storyline. Same with DIY's implosion between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
Which I can't wait. That's going to be like what, after Rumble that's going to pick up again?
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, WrestleMania time. I think that's when it's going to be.
Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano at TakeOver. Yes. Orleans. Ooh, that's going to be good.
But I don't know. There's not much for New Day to challenge, getting back to the original thing.
Well, yeah, because I don't know what they're doing with Hype Bros. I mean, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
And because I would never, I don't know. I guess I would expect Zack Ryder to do what he did, but at the same time, I would have been much more interesting if Mojo did. But I don't know. I think the tag team division on SmackDown is kind of interesting.
I think that we should just get a Hype Bros heel turn.
Yeah, I would have much preferred that, but I don't know. I don't know what they're planning. That's really what I'm going to boil it down to. But let's move on to the really big thing that happened on SmackDown this week, which really made this show amazing. And let's start off with the beginning of the show where Kevin Owens comes out, and I'll let you take on it because you're the SmackDown guy.
So Kevin Owens comes out and saying how he's going to sue the WWE, make it the Kevin Owens show. We talked about this last week, and he brought it up. First thing he's going to do is fire Sami Zayn.
I thought it was great. You say, Fashion Files, cancel it. I'm done with it.
Yes. And then he would make Byron Saxton and Mike and Todd Phillips wear the same suit. And not two suits. It's like not two suits that just look exactly the same. They would have to share a suit because you can't tell them apart on commentary. And Corey Graves is just trying not to laugh.
Oh God! And then like throughout the night, he's doing the same thing with other people. He talked to Aiden English about making the Kevin Owens show theme song, which I thought was really funny.
Yes. He talked to Sami Zayn about
firing him.
No, he talked to Sami Zayn. He's like, look how far I've come, and look at you. I'm gonna own SmackDown, and look at you. So there was that.
Oh, I had a really interesting thought about Sami Zayn if Kevin Owens actually does fire him that I will share with you after this podcast is over.
Is it Sami Zayn being his personal assistant?
No. It's something I think you might enjoy, but...
No, just tell me now.
No. We'll save it for another time.
No, tell me now.
No.
Tell me now.
No, we got to go on to what happened next. We're running out of time.
You know what? You just made the list.
Fine. Let's keep going.
And you know who else made the list? Vince McMahon, damn it.
Oh my God, that was so
Vince
good.
Called out Kevin Owens like, you ain't gonna sue. If you sue, you gonna lose. You gonna be bankrupt. I'm like, damn, Vince.
And he's never lost any lawsuit he's been a part of.
He's not.
Damn. He's never lost any of them. I mean, I'm excluding the current one he's still going through with CM Punk that hasn't gotten anything.
No, he didn't lose that.
No, he didn't win it either. It's still going on.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, CM Punk got the money.
No. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Huh.
But
I'm gonna look this up. I think that
this is what's gonna make Kevin Owens a real star.
Yeah, because Vince McMahon announced that at Hell in a Cell, Shane McMahon will verse Kevin Owens
Inside Hell in a Cell.
Yes,
which is Shane's main forte. And something that will absolutely make Kevin Owens a superstar from an in-ring perspective. But what happened after he announced that was the best thing in the world.
Kevin Owens made
made me scared to death. But go on.
Kevin Owens made Vince McMahon promise that he would not get reprimanded should he be provoked by a McMahon. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, no.
They're really going to do this. Oh my...
And then Vince is like, sure. I'm like, you stupid old man. And then Kevin Owens got the handshake. then got a headbutt in on Vince, made Vince bleed.
Did we know if that was hard way bleed or
That was hard way
That
bleed.
was hard way. Oof.
Yeah, you could see it slow. You see the scabbing, you just slowly see it start to bleed out.
Yeah, I know, and I'm wondering how they were talking about that, like from a backstage perspective.
It was
Were they-
probably. Did you see how spiky Owen's hair was?
yeah.
He probably used part of that and stuff though, because the way it was angled, his head was tilted in when he headbutted, which is actually a smart, because this is probably the hardest part of the skull right here.
So his hair spikes, which is one of the
Helped
softest
it.
part. Okay.
No,
I understand your logic. I understand that.
But
I'm
the
wondering
force too.
Well, yeah, that too. But I understand that. My thing is like, how did the actual conversation go? It was like, Kevin, we're gonna shake hands after I agreed to that you won't be reprimanded if you hurt any McMahon, and then you're gonna take your head and shove that spiky hair of yours right into my skull. I'm gonna bleed right over the place.
Vince McMahon knows what's best for business. He knows how to take
I
a
was
bump.
terrified when that happened, and especially like after he basically destroyed Vince in the ring.
And then
I was terrified because he's 72 years old. His birthday was 2 weeks ago,
and then he frog splashed him.
and then he basically got I'm not gonna say concussed, but bled from the forehead, then a frog splash.
Yes.
Kevin Owens is not a small dude, and Vince McMahon is not a young dude by any means. He's 72 years old.
I want this to end with Kevin Owens winning control of SmackDown.
Oh God, if they don't do that, I'll be so upset.
I think this is where it's leading. We're going to see the actual Kevin Owens show. And
They're renaming SmackDown the Kevin Owens Show.
yes.
And when you go on, I'm gonna watch that live. If that happens, I'm gonna watch that live
yes.
and see what the actual view guide says. Because if it says WWE presents the Kevin Owens Show, I will flip out. It would be so amazing.
Yes, but that was insane. That was intense, that segment.
I was very happy with everything that happened with that.
Like, I want Kevin Owens to slowly work his way up and become chairman of the board.
I do want it to be at a point where he's commissioner of SmackDown or in charge of the Kevin Owens Show. He definitely does fire Sami Zayn.
Yes, Sammy
And
goes to
then
Raw.
I have a couple of ideas for that, which I'm not going to share right now just because of time purposes. But he is also bossing everyone around. He fires Daniel Bryan. And then this is where we're going to get Daniel Bryan coming back, or at least he's going to leave forever because by then it'll probably be his contract actually up.
Yes.
And then he'll go to Ring of Honor or something like that, which I would love to see.
And then Kevin Owens feuds with Triple H for the title of COO position.
I just want Kevin Owens' face next to the WWE logo. That's basically what this is boiling down to.
Yes.
That's what I hope they do that. I hope they actually make a giant sign of Kevin Owens' face and put it on the Stanford building. And then by Thanksgiving time, and then when I'm driving to Connecticut for my Thanksgiving thing, I'll see that. I will laugh so hard in the car. Oh God, I want more.
Many ideas there where this can go with this, but props to Vince for taking that headbutt. That was stiff.
Did you see Hogan's tweet about that?
Nah.
Hogan tweeted about that, and it's like right there. That's how Vince McMahon gets people over.
Yes.
So, I feel like Vince is the only person that can actually get really crappy characters or like characters that weren't developed really well by writers and get them over in like a 10-minute segment. Because he did that for Roman Reigns when he won the title,
He did that for
And
CM Punk, Brock Lesnar.
and he did it right here for Kevin Owens.
You know who he didn't do that for yet?
Who?
The Fashion Files.
Uh,
Imagine that segment.
Imagine. Wait, hold on. Just imagine this. We're in the Fashion Files headquarters. They're wondering who it is. Then a shadowy figure with a hooded cloak comes in, flip over, and it's Vince McMahon. And he goes, "It was me. It was me, Breeze. It was me." Oh my God, I would love that. Oh, stop. You know that would be amazing. Everyone would be cracking up. It was horrible when it happened with the Ministry of Darkness, but it would be hilarious if it happened with Fashion Files. Oh, God. They did it.
That'd be good. I wouldn't deny that.
You know what this episode really it reminds me that I really miss Vince McMahon being on every week for wrestling.
Yeah,
I miss Vince a lot. Like, I remember watching Raw when I got back into it and saw Vince like every week, and I was getting a little tired of it. But every like once in a while when he would leave and then come back, I was like, oh, I really enjoyed Vince coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You gotta make it special.
Vince just knows what he's doing. It boils down to. But we really talked a lot about that because I think we talked a lot about the Cena Roman thing.
No, we talked about GFW for a solid 12 minutes.
Oh, we did? Really?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to go into our topic of the week, the Mae Young Classic. Hello, Audio Marks. I'm here to talk to you about Patreon. Patreon is a website dedicated to giving more power to the content creator and their patrons who support them. By giving them an avenue of direct support, these creators can create any kind of art with Patreon. Music, drawings, videos, and yes, podcasts. There's no middleman. So please head over to our page on Patreon, Marks for Life Podcast, to support us with a $2 donation. With this donation, you can get all of our podcasts on our page, and you can get a special shout out from ourselves, Jimmy and CJ. Or you could just do the regular dollar donation just to support the podcast. Now back to the show, Audio Marks. Thank you very much.
And we're back.
Yes, we are, Audio Marks. So this week we are finishing up part 2 of the Mae Young Classic. What did you finish the rest of it?
Yes, I did. I saw everything.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was incredible.
Right.
If I had to rank the tournaments that we did, I would give this the second spot one, only because the UK tournament had storytelling that was really good.
So you think it was better than like the Cruiserweight Classic?
Yeah, I do think it was better than the Cruiserweight Classic. Yeah, absolutely. It had a lot better story purposes than I thought the Cruiserweight Classic did.
Okay.
And I think they went with the right call of the winner.
Yes.
But I like who were the 2 finalists. I thought that was also really good.
Yes.
I wish that certain people went higher and other people went lower on the list, but overall they had really good matches. Like,
yes.
They were surprised. Like, I was surprised by really good matches that they were in.
There was a lot of there was just a lot of good stuff with this. There was
I mean, let's just go on with the questions I have.
Yes.
The rest of the tournament was I think it really intensified after every single round. And then it culminated, and I thought this was a really good idea. And I mean, I know why they didn't do it at Full Sail, just because of what's going on with Florida right now with Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, but I like how they did.
I like how they did it though
in Vegas.
Yes, I like how they did a nice little 20-minute spot for all the video packages and the entire match and the final ceremony for it, and it was all on the network, and it was right after SmackDown. I thought it was really good.
Oh my god, it was.
They need to do that for the future tournaments.
Yes.
Like, I love the Full Sail crowd, and I feel like they should host a tournament for most of it.
Yes.
But the finale needs to be like at a post Raw or post SmackDown.
Yes.
Always.
I think that the crowd was electric. I think they really brought that big fight feel, and I like how they also had the red carpet for it. They had a lot of stars. They had the cast of Glow.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. They had the cast of Glow for that.
Cast of Glow, Ronda Rousey, Roderick Strong's wife, I think, was there.
Who's also one of the 4 Horsemen, which I did look up and confirmed it, which I'm glad for. But I like how they did this, and I hope that they learned a lesson, and that the next tournament that they do, they take that. Sorry, we're getting a whole bunch of feedback, and it's really disturbing us. But going on to, I mean, who did you like the most going into the tournament?
I think Kairi Sane was the one that stood out to me, but a lot of the other ones that I was very excited to see in the tournament would have been Serena. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to get edited out.
That's fine. Serena, I was excited to see. Mia Yim, I was excited to see. Trying to think. Shayna Baszler, I wasn't really like.
Have you seen any of her other matches, like on
not
YouTube?
Not
before this.
Yeah,
because they're basically generally the same way that she wrestled in that, like a kind of mixed martial arts kind of wrestling feel to it, which is cool. I'm not gonna deny that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was. it was very intense, and we need more of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially if we're definitely going to go down the road of 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Representing Australia.
What are you doing? We're doing a podcast.
No, because I was trying to search up something.
Okay.
No, I was trying to figure out.
I absolutely believe you, but we're in the middle of doing a podcast. Or like we're about to.
No, this is part of the podcast.
Okay, all right.
But it was, all in all, it was a great tournament. It was very successful, and I hope they do more Mae Young Classics.
Yeah, I think in the long run, I think there should do the 3 main, like, I don't know how they would even do this, but they should do different tournaments around this time every year.
Yes.
And then, like, it's like a cycle. So they have the cruiserweights for 1 year, then they have the women's one, and then they have, like, a big guy one, and
Yes.
then they go back to cruiserweights, and then they go back to women, and then big guys, and then so on and so forth, like that. I like that structure of it because I feel like people would definitely watch it, especially after watching this particular tournament. It was very good. Anyway, sorry, we're still getting a lot of feedback, and it's really distracting.
I hope you guys don't hear it, but
We'll find out. After the tournament was said and done, who did you like the most?
After it was said and done, I loved Kairi Sane. I'm a huge anime guy. I love the fact that she kind of brought that feel to it. Like, she was just an anime character straight out of, television.
In the words of JR, she was the pirate princess.
Yes, I loved that. I loved the gimmick. I loved the character. I loved the underdog story. I'm not sure if you heard, but she actually dedicated her win to... she was dedicating the match to someone she lost, actually.
Right.
There was a tweet about that, and it got so much press because it was like, I know you're not here with me right now, but, I made it. We made it, and I'm going to keep our dream alive, and I'm going to win. And I'm like, duh! I also have a thing for, like, Japanese wrestling and Japanese women's wrestling and stuff. I'm a huge Asuka mark, and I love Kairi Sane and stuff. Not that she's another Asuka, but she's from that same cloth.
Yeah.
Of style
Also,
and pageantry.
I also loved her finish.
Yes.
Her elbow drop. It's such an old school move,
but it works.
But it works so well, and especially like the nice twist that she does with it. I loved it. Surprisingly enough, liking the most. Surprisingly enough, I loved who am I thinking of? Piper Niven, I really liked.
I like Toni Storm.
Toni Storm was amazing.
I loved that. She reminded me of a female Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
But it was just because of the top hat. Everything else was completely different.
Imagine like that's her gimmick going into like NXT or the main rosters, that she starts wearing like the Marty Scurll thing.
That was good.
And then they start having a Twitter beef, man versus female, and that's how we get Marty Scurll in WWE. I would love that so much.
Mia Yim
was incredible, and I wish she went a little bit further. But
yes,
she's definitely she's getting a contract. I would hardly doubt that she's not.
What did you think was the best match?
Oh God!
Now that you watched the full tournament, because I already have mine in mind.
I really like the Mercedes, Martinez and Shayna Baszler match.
That one was
really good. But the first match with Kairi Sane and Tessa Blanchard was probably my favorite. Yeah,
I think mine was Toni Storm and Kairi Sane.
I feel like it's always going to be revolving around Kairi Sane.
Yes,
she was that good.
But Toni Storm and her performed some magic, and I was thoroughly impressed, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love Kairi Sane. I love Toni Storm, Shayna Baszler, Mercedes Martinez, Piper. I can keep going on about.
Yeah, I know we can.
Women's wrestling and tag team wrestling, I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, especially if they do like more female wrestling matches, like the ones that we just saw.
Yeah.
But I like the fact what happened afterwards. Like she's getting a number one contendership for the vacated NXT Women's belt.
So it was announced by Triple H that Kairi Sane will be in the NXT Women's Championship match at NXT TakeOver Houston. She will be challenging someone from NXT for the vacant WWE NXT crown. Yeah. So, which brings the question. First, I'm happy that they went with it like this.
Yeah,
I'm happy they went with it like this instead of just giving her the title. Who do you think she's going to verse?
That's tough. Man, that's really tough. I mean, our obvious one that we'd really want from an NXT perspective would be Nikki Cross.
That's who I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like torn because I would want it, but I also don't want it because I kind of want it to be Ruby Riott. I don't know why. I just feel like it should be Ruby Riott.
I feel like it's gonna be Ember, and then Kyrie's gonna beat Ember, and then Ember's gonna take over as the number one heel.
That's a possibility
because Kyrie's gonna come in as a beloved babyface. Then you have Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross. All three of them are faces. Nikki.
Well,
Ruby.
Nikki
was a face this past week. She came to the rescue of Ruby Riott.
Well, yeah, but she's not a face.
Nah, she's a face now, especially with Sanity being beloved as well. You know, they got over organically, so they're considered the face team.
All right.
So Nikki Cross is a face. Ruby Riott's a face. Kairi Sane would be a face. And then you have, on the other side, you have the iconic duo. Those are the heels. Those are the main heels.
Who I also loved.
Oh, yeah, they're great. So, but the thing is, it's unbalanced. So I feel like Ember Moon is going to be the logical contender. Kairi Sane's going to defeat her, and then she's going to turn heel.
Unless they fill up the NXT women's division with stars, which goes on to our next thing.
Yes.
Who do you think is going to be the at least top 5 for NXT?
I'm going to announce already who have already been signed by WWE prior to the tournament.
Okay.
Vanessa Bourne.
Okay.
She versed Serena Deeb.
Yep.
You had Zeta, who versed Shayna Baszler in the first round.
Yep.
Sarah Logan.
Okay, Sarah Logan. I would. Yep.
Zaya Lee, who versed Mercedes Martinez in the first round.
Who I actually pretty much liked.
Rhea Ripley, the Australian soccer player.
Okay.
Abby Lath.
Yes.
She was already signed.
Good.
Kavita Devi.
All right.
Yeah, I'm so happy about that.
Very happy about that.
Dakota Kai.
Okay.
Bianca Belair.
All right. I was very impressed with her match with Kairi as well.
I told you.
I don't. Every single match that we love is always going to involve Kairi in some way.
Yes.
And I find that really entertaining and funny.
Yes.
But go on.
I told you. Her thing hurts. A lot. Sage Beckett.
Okay.
She was trained by the Dudley Boys, actually.
Okay, that's cool.
If I remember correctly. Lacey Evans.
Okay.
Tainara Conti. She was the Brazilian martial artist
right. That first Shayna Baszler. Yeah.
No, she versed Lacey.
Oh, right.
And then Reina Gonzalez, the human suplex.
Okay.
So those have been announced already.
Just in WWE in general, so they don't know if they're going to go.
I think they're all going to NXT.
Okay, so
or already in NXT, like Sarah Logan and Lacey Evans and Bianca Belair are already been on NXT television.
Okay.
And Tainara Conti is also on NXT live events as well. Who I think should go to the top 5 after reading this list, because that's what I wanted to look up. Kairi is already going to NXT, so I don't think I should even count her.
Yeah, we're excluding Kairi because we already know that she's going.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw in first Candice LeRae.
Yes.
Candice LeRae, I feel like that would be very good to see.
Would that be your number 1 person to go, or are you going from 5 to 1?
I'm just going with...
Okay. Yeah, okay.
If we're going 5 to 1, I'm going to think Jazzy Gabbert.
Okay.
Candice LeRae.
All right.
And then... Oh, my God. Who else? There was someone else that was really good that I wanted to... Yeah, throw Tessa Blanchard in there.
Okay.
And then Candice LeRae, then Toni Storm.
Candice LeRae.
I want Toni Storm to be signed the most into NXT.
In NXT, okay.
Yes, this is my NXT list. I would love to see those.
Well, because there's another main roster list.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just
completely different.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right. If I had to pick my top 5, I would go from the 5, Gabbert.
Yes.
Lath.
Lath is already signed.
Yeah, I know, but doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
It's who should go to NXT no matter
okay.
what. So, Lath, because I really liked their match.
Oh yeah, Lath is fantastic.
They had a really good match, And I would have really preferred if Gabbert screwed over Lath
Yes.
in the tournament and had like a best of 7 series with them for like a while. That would have been sweet. I'm going to put Belair. I don't particularly like her that much, but I did enjoy her matches a lot more than I thought I would.
Okay.
So I would put her there. Deeb.
Yes.
And I'm going to put Piper Niven as my number 1. Only because I don't know her promo skills, and I feel like if they're not that good, NXT would be a good spot to learn that.
Okay.
But those are my top 5 who I would absolutely want to go to NXT.
Yeah. I just hope these get signed and go to NXT. This is my list, folks. Who has not been announced as being signed, but if they were signed, I would like them to go there.
Okay.
Because I feel like all these people on the list are going to go to NXT. Bourne, Zeta, Logan, Ripley, I feel like that they're going to go there because an incoming crop of talent is supposed to be coming up soon. And I feel like the iconic duo is going to get called up and stuff.
And they definitely need more heels.
Yeah.
And they definitely need a full one. Like 10 is a nice round number for any division.
Yes.
Especially if it's fighting for only one belt.
Yes. Who do you think should go to the main roster? 5-1.
5-1. Okay, so top 5.
Yes.
Baszler, only because...
Is she your number 1?
No, she's my 5.
Really?
Yeah. Baszler only because she would be a nice introduction for the 4 horsewomen, which I don't want right away. I would want that way down the line.
Okay.
Just because we need to develop them. And I also really want to see a real development for Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
So I don't want to just throw her into that. Who else? Purrazzo, Dana.
Deonna
Purrazzo. Yep.
Really?
I don't know. I think that the way that she presented herself in the tournament, looking kind of like Wonder Woman, would be a good like selling point. Mm-hmm. But also her matches were really good.
Okay.
Oh, God. Who else am I thinking of? I don't know. I would like to see Candice LeRae
On the main roster?
Yes, because it'd be nice. It'd be a good gateway for Johnny Gargano to get into 205 Live.
Okay.
God, who else am I thinking? Tony Storm,
On the main roster. Okay.
because I really like Tony Storm.
Yes.
And then number 1's Tessa Blanchard, because I really, really want to see Blanchard versus Flair.
You're such a Blanchard, Mark.
I mean, give me a break. I mean, she was incredible. Wish that she had more matches on it, but that's besides the point. But she's incredible. And I think having a story of Flair versus Blanchard before they do the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen would be a really good stepping stone for Charlotte and a really good introduction for Blanchard.
Okay.
But that's for main roster, though.
My main roster, Princessa Suhei.
Okay.
I feel like that this would greatly impact the Latino market. From a marketing standpoint, it would be an excellent fit to have Princessa Suhei, especially since she's a veteran and she would bring about a unique style.
Especially since all the other ones aren't that good.
Oh, the
I mean, I don't know. Kalisto's okay. I feel like he's lost
yes.
he lost that stuff.
But I feel like Princessa Suhei would fill that gap, especially as like a women's luchador.
Yeah.
You
Because because the other ones aren't like they're not presented that well. Like Kalisto lost his steam. No one has zero faith in Sin Cara anymore, even though the person who's underneath the mask
Is different.
is different and actually really good.
Lindsay Dorado's done.
Lindsay Dorado's basically done, but he's good. But he's not going to get that. And Grand Metalik, as good as he is, he's not going to get it either. And it's a sad state of affairs, but that's just how it is.
Yeah, but I definitely like to see Princessa Suhei go to the main roster. Next one on my list would be Marty Bell.
Really? Marty Bell?
Yes. Just because it would go with my next pick of Mia Yim.
So you're going to do the revival of the Dollhouse
Yeah, because I also want to see NXT. I want to see women's tag team.
division.
Yes, I would love to see that.
I don't know if they would call it Dollhouse, though, would they?
No, I don't think they would call it Dollhouse, but just because of their connections, I would love to see that.
All right.
And I feel like Mia Yim would bring, again, an Asian market.
Probably one of the best wrestlers in that whole tournament.
Yes, and and she would have fantastic matches and stuff. I would put Mia Yim and Marty Bell. I'd probably put them to
SmackDown.
No, I put them to Raw.
Really?
I'd like to see the Iconic Duo on SmackDown because Iconic Duo is more of a work in progress. So I would see SmackDown. They could own their craft, and Mia Yim and Marty Bell can just do the stuff they were doing on TNA there.
Okay, yeah, I see your point now.
You know, and Princess Suhei would probably go to SmackDown.
Okay.
I would also like to say Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah.
I would like to see her on the main roster, and I would just love to see her mix it up with Sasha on Raw.
Now, would they face off against each other in like wrestling matches, or would they like form like also another kind of like tag team-esque kind of thing?
No, they'd be beating the hell out of each other.
Okay.
And then my final pick would be Shayna. And I'd like to see Shayna on SmackDown.
Because you want her to start setting up the groundwork for
multiple reasons. Yes. One, set up the grounds of the Four Horsemen with Charlotte and Becky. Second, I want to keep her away from Asuka.
Ah, okay. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I want to see them stay away from each other a little bit, like how Charlotte and Asuka are on different brands. I want to see that so they can build that up. Because I feel like Shayna will give Asuka a fantastic match.
Hopefully they would let loose the strong style, because I feel like that MMA style and strong style would go really well with each other.
I feel like Asuka gives no help, gives no craps.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And plus Asuka's like their number one draw. Like Asuka's gonna be better than Charlotte in terms of women's wrestling.
We'll see.
I think
we'll
so.
See.
If they continue with what they're doing with Asuka, just continuously have her being undefeated, she's gonna outmatch Charlotte.
That's true. All right.
You know.
And those were all your 5. All right.
That was my 5. Any you disagree with? Because there's some I disagree with yours.
I don't know. I feel like Baszler's too high just because I don't want to rush into the Four Horsewomen thing. Mm-hmm. Who else did you pick? I'm sorry. I know you picked Mercedes Martinez. That one I actually like a lot.
Yes.
Who else did you say?
Suhei?
No, you gave good reasons for that.
And the Dollhouse.
And the Dollhouse. All right. If I was your list, I would have moved the Dollhouse to NXT only because I would have liked to establish an NXT women's tag team division first.
Okay, I see.
And then move it into the main roster, because I don't know if I would rather dip the toe into put it into like a real like marquee crowd first and then move it to the main roster, because that's kind of what they did.
Okay.
The talent. But other than that, I liked your list.
I don't feel like Deonna Purrazzo and Tessa Blanchard should be on the main roster yet.
I mean, I don't know. I was also kind of like thinking names off the list, and I kind of want to switch out Dana for Mia Yim because I love Mia Yim most. I'm sticking with Tessa though, because I want to see an actual four horsemen kids match before I see the Four Horsemen versus Four Horsewomen.
Yeah, but who else?
I don't know. Like they could make like a jobber that's like Arn's kids or something like that. I don't know. Like Sarah Logan would probably fit that profile really well.
I don't know. I feel like that's pushing it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like putting Blanchard on the main roster along with Charlotte would be really good. Because I feel like one or two things could happen. They could like do a love-hate thing where they start tagging it up and then one of them betrays them, and it would probably be Tessa. Mm-hmm. Or they could just go right into hating each other, and Tessa would still be the heel.
Okay. What do you think WWE's next tournament should be?
It should be a big guy tournament, in my opinion. Because I don't know. I mean, they could do the Cruiserweight Classic 2, or they could do like a big guy tournament, which I would kind of want to see a big guy tournament, especially with the way that they've done Brock, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman in the past several months. They've done a really good job with them, and I would really like to see what they do with other big guys.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like a big man tournament would be good. Like a minimum weight would be 250.
Yeah.
You know, and then not going to lie, I would like to see this bring in Moose.
Oh, God.
If he leaves Anthem, I would love to see him go.
Oh, yes.
The only thing
bring in Moose.
The only thing that's stopping him is this domestic abuse.
Yeah, he has a domestic abuse charge, really?
Yeah, that was the only reason why they didn't sign him. They were going to sign him, but they didn't.
Oh, God. I love Moose.
Moose is good.
Moose is so good. But they have other big guys that they could put. Like, they could put Donovan Dijak in that match.
Yeah.
They could put...
Matt Riddle.
They could put the other two guys from Heavy... they could put the two guys for, what is it, Heavy Machinery. They could put in
Wolfgang.
Killian Dane, Wolfgang.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. And they would sign new people like the guys who play Matanza, Cueto,
Yeah.
and Mil
Mil
Muertes.
Muertes, yeah.
Like those guys would be amazing, especially the guy who plays Matanza. Oh, yeah.
Now, what other tournament would you like to see besides the big man tournament? Because we talked about this for months.
Well, because, I mean, they already have the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic.
Yes.
What I'd like to see them do this year is to incorporate guys from the main roster.
I think they might do that with the Ascension.
Yeah, but I don't know. I want them to do with like actual tag teams. So the Fashion Files guys, I would like to see in that tournament. Matt and Jeff Hardy, I would like to see. Even guys I like who have shown up from the tag team things, but then like left because they only had like a couple weeks. So I would like, what was it? What was those guys in the SmackDown tag team tournament last year?
The Spirit Squad.
No, the other one.
Headbangers.
Headbangers, that's what it is. Like bring the Headbangers or something, just for like filling it up and stuff like that. But they already have like a tag team tournament for that. I guess they could do like a regular like over 205 to 250. Like so guys like AJ Styles, Seth Rollins and stuff like that.
There are two other tournaments I feel like they should do.
All right, go on.
One is an Asian Classic.
Oh yeah, so they do like bring in the Asian market.
Yeah.
And
I would love to see that.
And they would host it like in Kyoto, Japan or something like that, or do it in Shinjuku Hall.
I would love to see something like that because the Asian market's very strong. They're a very passionate crowd and they're very respectful. I would love to see some love get to them.
Yeah.
And there's something else I'd like to see. A rookie tournament.
Oh, so like a prospect tournament.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I'd like to see a prospect
So
tournament.
you want to see just straight guys with no name value to them from like NXT or something like that. Well, not like only NXT guys, but like guys who are also on like who do like house shows like around here in Long Island or other places and stuff like that are like no names. The no name tournament.
Yeah, or like just big names that came out in the past year. You know, I'd like to see them sign it and stuff. Like I don't know. I want to see them build up those guys too and stuff because then they can also adjust them to the WWE style, and then they can really have a good.
Yeah, that's like really good for building talent. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully they keep doing this like for those huge tournaments for those kinds of like classics.
Yeah.
Which I already have a problem with it calling a classic, but regardless of that, if they do classics like that, they should do the 10-week thing and then do it like in August, September, around that time. And if they're going to do something like regional wise, like they did with the UK tournament, they should do that like towards the beginning of the new year, like they did with the UK one.
I would just like it to coincide with the Japanese tour.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like, not gonna lie, I feel like a 16-man tournament between and over the course of Japan, their tour, and you film that, and then you put it on the WWE network. And that's how you would do it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
You know,
That would do it. Wouldn't you put that also into Mexico as well? And like,
yeah, that's how I would like to see it. Like UK, I feel like that would have been good if they traveled, but they're already doing the Raw and SmackDown events and stuff. Mm-hmm. But if you just add that to the thing and stuff, I feel like that'd be very good. And then you host a live special and stuff, and then that would be the finals.
All right, that's
like
pretty cool.
Beast in the East from a couple years ago.
Yeah. All right, I would like that. I think that those are interesting ideas, and hopefully WWE, if somehow you're listening, because
or
we always believe that you are listening.
I thought of another one, an intergender tournament.
I like the idea.
The top 8 women versus the top 8 men.
All right, I like the idea, but who would they get though? People because they can't just pluck people who've never faced opposite
Mercedes.
genders. Okay, you would have Mercedes,
Shayna, Asuka.
You would basically have the girls who are in Shimmer because they do that all the time there. But then who would be the guys? Would you get Joey Ryan? Because I'm pretty sure WWE wouldn't side Joey Ryan.
Hell no.
I would love that, but no.
I'd like to see Pete Dunne and Mandrews.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Mandrews, I feel like would get that respectable edge, and Pete Dunne would just be like, I don't care.
I would like to
I'm gonna
see
win.
Pete Dunne versus Mercedes because I feel like they have a similar style. And Shayna. Oh God, I would love to see that hard hitting style between those two, those three people actually.
So an intergender tournament would be very good too.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're still a long way from doing that.
And then Becky versus James.
I think we're all still hoping for that to even happen on the main roster first.
Yes.
But with that being said, it is time to close down the podcast for another week.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned for our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for their continued use of their equipment and space. If you would like to continue listening to us, please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, and Facebook Marks for Life Podcast. And continue to support us through Patreon and SoundCloud at Marks for Life Podcast. And now, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life Podcast. Our podcast and new content are coming soon to you. Until next time, Audio Marks.